We are living in truly bizarre times right now. Everything has to be blamed on somebody or something else, some other entity. It is never anybody's fault what happens. And this culture is so extremely damaging and responsible for much of the catastrophe we see all around us. Everything has to be somebody else's fault, right? It's never the person's fault. And let's think about this in a little bit more detail and follow along with me. And feel free to tell me at the end after you watch this video if you disagree with me. Am I completely off here? Fine, tell me. I don't think I'm off. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about, specifically with the unprecedented metabolic health catastrophe that we see all around us in large segments of the Western world. Countries like the United States and United Kingdom, unbelievably high rates of obesity in adults and children. Type 2 diabetes is going through the roof. Other illnesses and inflammatory disorders, which are all associated with a suboptimal lifestyle. But remember, it has to be somebody else's fault. And this is amusing to me in some ways. I know it's nothing amusing, it's a tragedy, but I will often look online on social media and I will hear what's coming out of various governmental authorities, and particularly in the United States, a lot of them mean well, but they are blaming absolutely everything apart from the person. And it's so funny to see them skirting around the main issue. And not addressing the main issue is why everything is doomed to fail. And this is a huge cultural change. Many of you watching who may be over the age of 65 can remember a time when people were told the truth. And nowadays, that is absolutely forbidden. You can literally tell people everything else but the truth. If you had told people a few decades ago that you would blame people putting on weight for anything apart from their habits, they would have laughed at you. But nowadays, this goes, it has to be somebody else's fault. Look online at what you're seeing. Oh yes, it's the food corporation's fault. Yes, the food corporations. Well, firstly, no need to argue with me on that. I barely eat processed foods. I think processed food companies, those corporations, have been terrible for a long time, but they've been there for a very long time. So why has this problem suddenly got worse over the last 20 years, particularly the last several years since the pandemic? Is it the food corporations that have changed, or is it the people that have changed? And I'll tell you this as well. The UK has much stricter rules than the United States in terms of food corporations and what they can do. But the UK is almost exactly where the USA is. I mean, every time I go back, I'm shocked. But if we're looking at children and adults, obesity rates are almost the same in both countries. So explain that one to me. Oh yes, it's the food dyes. It's the seed oils. It's the preservatives. Well, could it be that simply people have lost control? I'm not arguing that food corporations and processed foods are good, but to blame food corporations. But then we have other people online as well in the social media realm. Ah, yes, the scientists, those scientists who are saying, yeah, our taste buds have been hijacked. Hormones are all over the place now. Insulin levels go up. Yes, of course, insulin levels go up. Insulin levels will go up if people are overeating. That's been the case since ancient times. Look at photos, well, not photos, but drawings of some of the kings and emperors of times gone by. There was no processed food back then, but many of them gained weight because they lived a life of greed, sloth, and gluttony and barely moved. So they put on weight with real food all around them. But yes, of course, it's the hormones which are going up and the taste buds have been hijacked. Well, I don't know about you, but when I have homemade chocolate cake, not that I have it very much, but when I do, it's pretty damn delicious. And I do feel like an extra slice. And that is hijacking my taste buds as well, I suppose. Maybe in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, chocolate cake was delicious back then. What are we saying? Delicious food hijacks the taste buds, so it's the fault of the food. This is what I'm getting at here. And it is amusing in so many ways, despite it being a tragedy. Look online at who authorities are blaming for the metabolic health catastrophe, and you will literally see everything blamed. Everything. Food corporations, you will see the taste buds being hijacked, the hormones going up. Scientists think it's all the hormones which are going up. Oh, it's a food environment. There's no fresh food available. Well, let me tell you something. I've worked with many people who don't have much income. People want to get fresh food. They will find a way to do that. It is the culture that is off. But of course, in our modern day society, everything will be blamed apart from the main thing, which is personal responsibility. And when people lose control and slip into bad habits, bad things will happen. This is a core teaching of Christianity, actually, talking about Christian countries, as many of these countries are supposed to be. What are three of the deadly sins? Greed, sloth, gluttony. They are deadly sins for a reason, because if you lose self-control, bad things will happen, even away from Christianity. Look at any world religion, and one of the basic foundational principles of religion and spirituality is have control over yourself. Don't lose control. Personal responsibility. Don't show greed. Don't be a glutton. Don't eat too much. Exercise some restraint. These are things that everybody knew before the world went completely crazy. And I will say again that it is this culture of wanting to blame absolutely everything apart from the main thing. And this happens in different realms as well, but obviously I'm talking about health. When you have that type of culture, isn't it obvious that you're never going to solve any problems because you're not addressing the main problem? Right now in the United States, and again, I'm a supporter of the Make America Healthy Again movement, they have listed absolutely everything about what's wrong with food, what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with our body's hormones. But I haven't seen one message from them telling people to exercise restraint. And speaking of exercise, get moving more. If you sit on your backside for hours every day, glued to your screen, bad things are going to happen. Everybody knew this a few decades ago, but the world has gone nuts. And again, we've forgotten some of the basic foundational principles, whether we're talking about religion, spirituality, the very basic things that societies were built on. Don't be a glutton. Control yourself. And with children, it's a little bit more difficult because, of course, adults feed children. But when adults lose control, children lose control as well. So yes, it is the adult's fault for driving this whole situation. But until we address that elephant in the room, no pun intended, things are going to keep going in a very bad direction. The world has never seen anything like this. And I'm telling you, people who watch this channel, you're smart, you're logical. Get out there and look around you. Go to a supermarket, a mall, an airport, a restaurant. Look at what is happening. The culture has changed so dramatically over the last 20 to 30 years, and this is reflected in television programs, everything. And that is why we're in big trouble. And we will never solve the problem until we accept that you cannot skirt around the issue. You can't blame everything else but the main thing. And we're in a bad place right now. We really are. Hopefully, the world will see common sense at some stage and get back to basics here. But we're not going to fix anything until we actually expect more from people. Grown adults, going back to even the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, being overweight and obese was extremely rare. Look at photos from that time. It's almost a different universe when you look at it now. And this has happened because the culture has changed so much, whereas back then, if you were falling into bad habits, you would quickly be brought back by the people around you. You would be told very bluntly, it's not a good idea to have that second slice of cake. You're going to put on weight. Buffets, okay, they become more common, but if you have raging diabetes, why are you going back for your second plate of food? The medical profession, which is completely owned by the pharmaceutical industry, comes into this as well for propagating this culture that you can fix a lifestyle issue with a pill. You absolutely can't. That's why people keep getting sicker. I really hope, as a doctor who wants people to be well, that we see sense on this. But we need to expect more from people. That's all I've got to say about that. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below whether you agree or disagree with me. My goal here isn't to be too harsh on people who fall into bad habits, but we have to expect more from grown adults. Where on earth did this notion come from? That adults don't have control over what they eat. You see this a lot online when they're talking about this issue, that we don't want to put too much blame on people and pretend that people putting on weight, getting pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes, heart disease. I've actually heard this said. A lot of people within medicine are very careful and they actually quote this. oh, we don't want to make people think that it's a deficiency of willpower. To me, it is absolutely abhorrent that you would take the one thing that is in adults' control and immediately disempower them and say, oh, it's okay. You don't have any control over how much you eat. Just keep on eating food. Be sedentary. It's okay. It's not your fault. You don't have any control over it. What could be worse than that? Disempowering people from the one thing that they do control in a world where many things are out of their control. Okay, I will stop talking now. Thank you again. Check the links in the description down below for my website, all the other work I do, my health program, and our natural health and well-being store, ohhighwellness.com if you're in the USA, North America, ohhighwellness.co if you're in the UK, Europe. If you enjoyed this video, you will also enjoy some of my other videos on how to naturally optimize metabolic health. Hit the like button if you like this video, the subscribe button for more similar videos in the future, and we will speak again very soon.